Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. Of course, this is Terry and this is another edition of An Orchid a Day. And today I'm going to do a little bit of a focus on this little miniature Dendrobium species, which is Dendrobium Delacourii, and it is sitting on one of my Bibles, which is the Pigeon Illustrated Encyclopedia of Orchids. And this is Delacourii, small plant from Burma, Thailand, Vietnam, Laos. This is a picture of the flowers. Very much Latouria-esque, but not a Latouria. Has short yellowish pseudobulbous stems, generally about 6 centimeters long. Young stems bear racemes in the fall. About 10 small graceful flowers, greenish white to pale yellow with red and purple striations on the lip. Also has that fringed or the frilly lip you can see there. So it says, give little water in the winter. Minimum winter temperature is 15 degrees Celsius. So this plant really should not get much bigger than this. These, as this thing says, it blooms in the summer into the fall, and then can be a deciduous plant, can drop its leaves and have a little bit of a dormancy. At that point, you go from watering them a lot, although you do want their roots to dry in between waterings, but you are watering them pretty much every day in the summer through the growth period. And then once it flowers or once it becomes deciduous and starts to lose its leaves, that's when you back off on the water and you slowly decrease it until early spring. You're basically not giving it any water at all for about 2 weeks in late winter. And then once the new growths begin, that's when you start watering copiously again. So that's the culture of the plant. Again, I said this is an epiphytic plant. Miniature plant, requires high humidity, can require some direct sun in the summer, but shade in the winter, and does like constant ventilation. So, also it does need frequent flushings in the summertime just to prevent salt buildup. These can be grown either mounted or they can be grown potted as it is now. It's best potted up in a very big chunky bark, deep pot, as to allow air between the bottom of the pot and the roots, so that it doesn't, the roots are not sitting in water or are waterlogged or sitting in any kind of decomposed material that it might have been planted in. So what I'm going to do with this plant is I'm going to mount it, and I had originally thought I was going to mount it on a piece of broken ceramic. I have several what people call holy clay pots that over time they break, or you drop them, or just they crack, but I could not find one that had holes in them so that I could string them up through. This is kind of what I'm referring to. I mean, I could technically feed string through here and attach the plant to it, but then I'd have to figure out how to hang it. This is what I was sort of referring to. But it just so happens that I have this log, or this stick, it's not a log, this little branch that has some live moss on it. So what I'm going to do, since the plant is relatively a miniature, I am just going to go ahead and take it out of the pot, see what the roots look like. I would imagine that the roots are pretty fine, you know, being that this is a very small plant. And then I will do my best to try to mount it onto this log hanging it theoretically this way and get the plant to be growing up in this direction, sort of train it to go this way. That is my hope. Hopefully you can see me and I am in focus. I'm just gonna go ahead and get to it. I will be posting pictures of the flowers more than what I have shown you in the book, just to give you a better idea. And yeah, it's best to do that because look, you can see it, this is just in some sort of like, almost like, what is that stuff called, that you put in flower arrangements sort of as a base. I can't think of it now, but it's moisture retentive, you can see. But I'm just going to, and it just falls apart. Like such, trying not to take any roots with it as I do this carefully, because the plant is still in growth, but the growths are to the point of where they are maturing. You can see right in there. So let me see, and I did not want to separate that bulb, but I'm going to try to keep it together with the rest of the plant. In my experience with seedlings like this, the minute, well, and plus you don't want a single bulb just out there by itself, but usually when it's in a little seedling like this, they have sort of a symbiotic relationship amongst each other. I mean, they are from the same, usually from the same seed pod. So they have some sort of a relationship, and so it damages them often if you separate small little clumps like this. In my experience, other people may have a different experience. So I am taking the stick. If you can't see this so well, let me see if I can get in here closer for you. So I've got the stick here, and but I am doing it wrong because I want it to go this way. So let me figure out what direction that it is growing first. And I can see there's a new growth, and there's a new growth. There's a new growth here, and there's a new growth here. So it's going in this direction. And I'm just going to leave that mature bulb there. And so putting it like right here would be the best way. And then I'm just going to loosely drape the string over the mount, making sure that I grab some of those roots as I turn it around to aid in securing the plant to the stick, and like such. And then maybe one more turn. One more turn through here. Just feed it through here. And then I'm going to just cut the spool, match up the ends, spread that in through there. And taking my time, because when you rush doing this, that is when accidents happen. And so I'm just going to tie this knot together like such. here is how it will hang. You can see the roots. There's the moss, plant, secure. Got my tag, which I will try to figure out how to attach it. But that is how I will do it, folks. Give it a light little wash in rinse, and a drink with rainwater. I will use rainwater for this one and put it in a shady location so far until I see growths, roots, or just any progression. And then I will move it to a higher light situation where it would enjoy being for the summer, for the winter. And that is this video. Thanks for watching, folks. Thanks for clicking on my video. And enjoy your orchids. Bye.